The sequence begins with Tottenham having the ball in their own half. At the moment, the left centre back decides to play to his left back, who is free on the touchline. As he got the ball, he was obviously pressured by Arsenal right winger and thus had to play it back. This is a general setup seen in most teams with two midfielders in the center and the goalkeeper splitting apart the centre backs. As left centre back got the ball, the opposition right winger closed him down and was forced to play it back. Now the keeper has all his immediate options closed down by the opposition as the deepest midfielder is closed by Arsenal's attacking midfielder and the striker is marking the right centre back. As the keeper holds on to the ball, scanning for options, striker decides to press him from keeper's right side, closing his passing lane to the right centre back. This is a general pressing run executed by forwards to limit passing angles for the ball carrier. For the keeper, the next decision may be to go low, or if they want to keep it low, the less risky option is to play a well weighted ball to the dropping midfielder. The right center midfielder can easily make a first touch pass to the right center back, and this could relieve some pressure for the team as the center back has some space to carry forward. The keeper, however, decides to play the riskiest pass to the inverted left back. The fullback is in a congested zone with three players nearby, and there is no way of getting past the pressure. He is forced to play to the centre back, and it's a 2v2 now for Tottenham in their half. We saw Jones to offer support, but is closed down, and an error is forced by the opposition. All this was due to the decision by keeper to choose the riskier option. Now let's look at how Arsenal approached a similar situation in the same game. As Arsenal right centre back got the ball, Tottenham pushed their right winger up, freeing the Arsenal left back. Salba played his fullback and was closed down by the winger, similar to what we saw earlier. The bold side options were marked, thus he played back to centre back. We have a similar picture now, with Arsenal having two midfielders in the centre, closely marked by Tottenham. Keeper gets the ball and is pressed by Solanke. The pressing distance was not short enough to worry Raya, as he easily played it to right centre back. For Arsenal, the right centre back was open due to the pressing approach of Tottenham, as they pressed with a sole striker, and the left winger was staying in the half space, marking Arsenal midfielder. In the previous sequence, the right centre back was marked, and Havertz made the press, keeping him in his shadow. As I explained earlier, this press from Havertz had its drawbacks too, as the centre back can still be accessed by a third man pattern, but the keeper failed to recognize it, which may be due to the lack of clear instructions or something else. In this situation, Raya has a clear choice and plays to the free man without taking much risk, rather simplifying the game in own defensive third. Tottenham's pressing approach was different to Arsenal, as they were creating this pressing trap for right centre back. All of his close options, except the player on the touchline, are now marked, and Solanke is closing him down. A pass to the right back could have made things more difficult, so Gabriel played it long to the space between the lines. This was the right choice here, if you want to avoid big risk, but still play to your strength. Here, the strong aerial ability of Havertz were rightfully utilized by Gabriel, contrary to Tottenham keeper, who made a defensive fullback exposed in a congested zone near the penalty area. These minute player decisions were troubling Tottenham in the build-up. And the sequence in which the setup is similar, as we have two centre backs split apart with keeper in between. There is no immediate width available from the right back, as he has inverted to the right half space. The lack of direct passing option made centre back to go back to keeper. The picture looks almost same, as the left back has again inverted to such a tight zone, in hope of becoming the spare man. At the moment, Arsenal's two midfielders are pinned by Tottenham's interior players and cannot move to mark the inverted left back. The keeper played him, but was again trapped in the congested zone as Partey pushed up to press. Spence was helpless with his technical potential in such a tight space and was dispossessed. The keeper should be blamed again for choosing such a pass, which could have been avoided if there was width available at the first place. The actual solution to avoid losing ball cheaply was to use the width whenever required to execute a successful build-up. Now let's see how players found the solutions. The situation is the same, with centre backs split apart. Arsenal is closely marking the immediate passing options in the central areas. Burgual, the centre midfielder, is the only central option close to the ball. The other two midfielders are positioned higher up the pitch, with Kulsowski pinning Arsenal's left side midfielder, while Madison is positioned in the left half space. The left back is making yet another attempt to invert to the free left half space, but this time Madison signals him to stay wide as he wants to drop there. This means a technically sound player dropping to receive rather than defender, inverting in such danger areas. Madison plays a first touch pass to the far side centre back, keeping everything under control. The pressure is somewhat released at the moment as the centre back has the time and space on board. Arsenal has to readjust their shape to keep up the press. This time, however, the width was in compromise as Poro, the right back, was in his wide position rather than in the centre. Poro was played and Arsenal maintained the press. As ball was played back to the centre back, the attacking midfielder transferred his marking duty to his striker so that Bergwall won't be free between the lines. Odegaard was quick in his press, trying to force a mistake. Keeper gets the ball and has a different scenario now. The left back has kept his width instead of moving into left half space. He was making that movement to his flank when the ball was played to keeper. This made things easier for keeper, contrary to the previous two sequences where he made two bad choices due to poor positioning of his teammates. The left back is totally free as all six of Arsenal's pressing players are pinned. The free position of left back forces Arsenal to push their right back out of the back lane to maintain the high press. Spence was closed down, thus Bergwall made himself available as an option. Still, Arsenal has their players defending Tottenham closely. The difference from previous instances is that now Spurs are in control and Arsenal is reacting to their movements rather than Spurs falling into Arsenal traps. The build-up continued with Madison moving wide, Spence coming inside, and Bergwall playing Madison. Partey rushes to close Madison, who evades the pressure with a clever fast touch, beating Partey. Finally, Tottenham have their press breaking moment. Madison's escape from Partey forces Havertz to close him, leaving his man, Bergwall, free. Madison quickly played Bergwall, who is completely free now. As Partey left his position, space is open in front of the back line. The centre backs are pushed back by Solanke, making centre open for far side midfielder Kulsoviski to attack. The primary reason for bypassing press was the usage of width, and they executed a couple more press breaks by using the flanks. In the next sequence, Tottenham has ball in non-penalty area with heavy pressure from Arsenal. Thus, they decided to go wide using the fullback. The central options are all covered by Arsenal's 4-4-2 shape, so the space is out on the flanks due to the two-man forward line of Arsenal. The fullback becomes the spare man, but was closed down as expected. Now, instead of playing back to the centre back or to the midfield, he decides to go along the line, where the winger drop, but with close pressure from behind. With the help of some individual errors from Arsenal, Spurs won the duel on the flanks, and the press was initially bypassed. To further progress the ball, a new space should be found. As the defensive midfielder has moved wide to press, the space will be available at his position. So the striker attacked it and bypassed the whole press with a diagonal to the far side. In this sequence, the pass to the striker was the only one played into the middle. Rest all passes were done to make use of the width. Ultimately, it paid off as the press was bypassed once again. Before concluding, let me show one last clip, which is an interesting watch. As the right centre back gets the ball, Arsenal is pressing with their 4-4-2. If you look closely, the left winger Trossard isn't out by defending the wide areas. Instead, Tottenham right back has inverted to the half space, dragging Trossard with him. So the flank is completely free. Now to attack the space, the winger drops, which will obviously be followed by a high pressing opposition. In addition to winger, the ball side midfielder also dropped aggressively towards the ball, and this dragged Arsenal's right half space protector to the flank. Now the half space is open, and the inverted right back attacks it with a clean pass from the winger. The build-up wasn't just focused only on one area, but used both areas of the pitch, the flank and the half space. Here, the inversion of fullback was done to open up space on the flank. Spurs did not play Poro in the half space. Instead, his movement created the space out wide, and later he was able to attack the same half space he equipped seconds earlier. Tottenham did not rush by making a pass to the half space near their penalty area, which has a higher probability of dispossession. Instead, waited for the space to open up in advanced zones. Playing through the width bought the time for that space to finally open up in the desired area, and ultimately Spurs executed a clean build-up.